Hello! It's Sakura once again, playing Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, we were going to get groceries, and we bumped into Lily, and now we're getting groceries with Lily. How wonderful. Alright, let's get right into it. So we're gonna load, we're gonna do mind your step. After what could be more than several minutes, I catch a sight of our object. This town is really pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter.
Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here.
It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. Like said, I can't shake the feeling that she had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in it, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket handle before picking it up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane? Before I can complete that thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers.
Is this all right?
Sure. I have no reason to accept. Or not to accept. I can think of worse things with that shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it's out of necessity. There we go. We navigate our way through the store, with not only one of the occasional passerby customers seen to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be an entirely normal from the local residents. Or for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into the respective baskets. I guess that is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all I'm left with is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily?
No, this should be everything.
Off we go then. With a quick aside to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not before long we both pay for our food and are out of the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upward at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer heat doesn't seem to be cooperating. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick, long stretch before taking her bag out and leaving me to my 2. You tired as well?
The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either.
Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right?
I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow. That's for certain.
I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk onto the quiet streets, talking between ourselves, as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinct figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Rin, what are you doing out so late?
Rin?
Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus or listen more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. Lily, she stiffens at the name as she's given a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe.
Ah, I understand.
I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns towards us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoughtfully. Hello. ... There is an awkward pause. Everyone waits for something else to be said. What are you doing here this late? ... I was wondering about that myself too just now. I was wondering about that myself too just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same thing. I don't know. They don't know either, I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So, that was pretty much it. It was a murder mystery without a murder. ... They were going that way. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to, as if that was important. Then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Or that superficial lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us, expecting a calm hint of expression on her face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. But as elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of blood.
Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of that sort, though.
No, I don't think that's it. The other passerbys were probably just worried, though. You look really lost. The way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should take some other kind of position in that case. I wonder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. It seems like most of the time it's been better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling on about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who doesn't seemingly complete random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. Even if I win, I feel like losing. Damn, it's like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. Is it the power of the girls at Yamaku? ... I push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider fully. It's probably just Kenji's anti-feminist propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might work. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequence, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea.
That sounds like progress, at least.
Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discreetly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yeah, there is definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensure the silence kills Lily, hoping all too visibly that didn't last long. Rin, as far as I can tell, understand, or as I can tell on base, assured aside, what should be done. We could just leave her here, of her own devices, whatever they are, but it's late, and I don't think we are going to get any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me, trying to guess what might been going on in her mind was when she decided to embark on this adventure. The chances seemed to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet. I appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems like her familiarity with Rin is exactly what she's staying subdued. Why she's staying subdued. Oh my gosh. So I assure you we're going somewhere. Not coming back to the school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock, and she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like she's act rehearsed for a situation like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. No, what? Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. I was just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the same direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to the school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears to quickly jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water. I'll take a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, the second time this week that somebody asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading abilities. She sounds rather concerned. The paper-thin smile on her face badly distinguishes that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decide to let the mind-reading topic drop as entirely innate anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point in staying here. Rin considers rather than simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her rhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that, a few fragmented beginnings of conversation. It's quiet. Quiet, apart from the relaxing one in town at that. Oh my god, I can't read. I can't read! So, how's the mural going? We are going to get bad luck. Never talk about a work in progress.
I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place. For the first time, step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of is surprisingly steep. Going uphill, with slow pace, but I feel my pulse rising and my breath getting heavier. Almost there, I can see the gates already. More than that, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder. Interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something, I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say aside from traveling companions, but only just. For a moment, she seems to be debating whether she should bring it up, but goes for it anyway.
Is everything alright?
Alright? How do you mean? The fact that I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second.
It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess.
Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk really does a job on me. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Lily notices all too quickly. Oh no, well. Let's put, sorry, I'm not in very good condition. It's alright, I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days.
Oh. Is it something that is related to you being transferred here, I mean?
She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing that she was being too intrusive. Her instincts are sharp, though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't mind, I think. It's just a little weak from the time being.
Hanako said you looked fairly healthy, so I naturally thought.
Lily doesn't finish her sentence, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortably expression stirs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising that she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all shared her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty, I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it, and spent most of the spring in the hospital. Ended up in Yamaku on doctor's orders. She slightly nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react. We don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in the moment's time, her face shows that she comes to some sort of realization.
Wait, so the time when Emmy and you collided in the hallway?
I grimace slightly. Her ability to connect the dots are quite so fast is unexpected. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example why the rule about running in the hallway corridors exists. That was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shrieks away from continuing the topic. While I want to assure her concern, I don't really want to dwell on it either. Don't worry about it. I tried to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realized the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuring, but doesn't say anything further. We made it. We made it to the school. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mule as if lightning struck her. She has been so quiet for almost all of the walk back. I had all but forgotten she was here. It's Friday, isn't it?
Yes, Friday, the 8th of June.
This is bad.
Bad? Why?
I think I'm going to, in the fetal position, throw up, possibly in reverse.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing is wrong. It's Friday, and nothing is wrong yet. The mural is going to need to be finished by Sunday, so everything is alright. Do you have any drugs? Or a time machine? This is not good. Not good. She's so behind her schedule, recalling Shizune's exasperation at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago. I don't know what to think. She has let herself open for it, I told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, as mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share in incredulous, I can't say words, look with me as I roll my eyes, but I realize she's not the one to do that kind of thing. Leave me. We do, and of course not wanting to aggravate her any more than she is. This is a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack for making people feel worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone? She sounds like she was going into shock or something.
I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's just, how do you say?
She cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique?
Yes, a very unique person.
I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion, melodiously, and nodding in agreement.
Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I really don't understand her, so I keep my distance.
My guess was right. Lily offered a slight apologetic smile, as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not to blame. I'm not the one to blame her at all. Lily slips a long breath, probably a distinguished yawn. I imagine she's exhausted all this time, as am I.
I better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hisao.
She smiles sweetly at me. It feels like different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I say, but it's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me.
I will. Good night.
And then we pass out right there. Bam!
No.
Oh, I should probably stop, but I will continue until the festival. The students roll into class for Sunday morning session. Each and every one of them spotting tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to progress, I suppose not surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through class until lunch break, and then our time is ours. Muto lurks in the classroom, tired, staggered. I suppose the students aren't the only people here enjoying the late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some pages and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks in position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep in is heard amongst the ruffling papers. Though only partly attributed to the 2 empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Suzune aren't present, probably doing student council work for the festival. It's quiet without Misha's presence. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I engross in thinking about Misha, and then I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure, what is this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Oh, we're in trouble. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, stretching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what is going on, I wait silently. So, tell me, how are things? Things? I expect Muto to be a little vague, but this is pushing at the limits. You know, things. The week has to settle in now, so how are things? I guess fine? I see. And how is your condition? The pause before condition seems a little unnecessary. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Muto's face. Good. That's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. He asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I ask you, don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at any normal school, you have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure you know that there are limits and how to maximize your potential with them. Do you follow me? I guess. I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's a start, I guess. So, then, on my next question, how do you find your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. You were not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises his eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I'm only trying to keep myself occupied in a little life support prison. Well, yeah, you gotta keep up with these things, right? That is exactly one wrong move in the world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week, there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the lay person. But one of them could be the key to the next Big Bang thing. Next big thing. Oh my god. Why did I say Big Bang? Oh my god. Because they were talking about science. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over, and he's going back to his standard, slightly scattered brain approach to life. I think, in hindsight, I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well, then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's head back inside, shall we? My relief at the suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying, but this is something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. After a few, students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they're working on questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on their desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got him there. Classroom returns to the near silence. Muto and I left in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or a chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks and remaining class time until the bell cries out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect answers for those problems on Monday. The classroom sighs, one instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the most pressing issue at hand. The classroom empties in a blink, and everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind to quickly finish the question so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all this way to our class to pick her up. I expect that moving around is least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business. I actually don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither of us tried to strike up a conversation about that or anything else, so the oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. The time is silent. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn my page of my notebook. Hanako turns to the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just as I'm about to finish a paragraph. The sound of my irritated sigh and sequential fumbling around for a sharpener feels like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Long before Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes for Hanako to jump up at her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but isn't long before Lily leaves the hallway, and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit there with her chin in her hands, staring at her desk dejectedly. The boredom eventually becomes too much for her, and her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, this isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be a quite fast reader to get through all of them at this rate. But why would Lily leave her to her own devices? It seems to be out of ordinary, going by Hanako's reaction. Ah, that's right. I think Lily mentioned something about going to town today before Rin bumped into us. The thought of the walk makes me look outside. The bright and sunny occasion people wander around and enjoy the afternoon makes me yearn to get out of the school, or at least do something other than sit here. Giving it into one of my worst vices, procrastination, I decide that history is a subject that best studied on Sunday or Monday, or even the other days than this one. I give a grunt as I level myself out of my seat and a brief debate with myself whether or not to hang out with Kenji. He doesn't strike me as an enjoyer of nice weather outside, the kind of person, really, I guess I catch up with him later. Checking tax, I briefly entertain the idea of talking with Hanako, but the time I look at her seat, it's vacant. She must have left for the library. Oh, okay, I think we go into town. Go for a walk into town. That means we're gonna go to Lily. But, you know what? I'm gonna save and stop here because I don't want to go on for too long because I don't want this video to be super long. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. And remember, Bakas, stay stinky.